You think a simple ID check cannot spiral, but in October 2023, one moment turns into 5 escalating levels of control that strip everything down to nothing. A routine stop becomes suspicion, suspicion becomes detention, and detention becomes a system that does not slow down once it starts. You face unanswered questions, quiet accusations, a camera that never looks away, and a mistake buried deep enough to hold you in place. You watch your own identity shift without warning, from civilian to suspect to something harder to escape. This is not chaos, it is procedure, and that is what makes it worse. It started on a quiet afternoon in October 2023, when you were just passing through downtown Los Angeles, not thinking about anything beyond your next stop. And that is when everything subtly shifted into level 1, the civilian being checked. You are Alex Carter, a name that has never meant anything unusual until this exact moment. A patrol car slows beside you, tires barely making a sound, and 2 officers step out with a calm that feels practiced. They ask for your ID like it is routine, like you are just another face in a long day, and you hand it over without hesitation. You notice the way one officer studies your license longer than expected, eyes narrowing just enough to register doubt. The air changes in a way you cannot explain, like the city noise has been turned down a notch. You ask if there is a problem, but the answer comes back vague, something about a report, something about matching a description. You replay your entire day in your head and find nothing that should place you here, standing still under their attention. A second patrol car pulls up, not urgent, just quiet backup, and now there are more eyes on you than feels normal. One officer asks where you were earlier, what time, who you were with, and your answers sound thinner the more you repeat them. You catch a glimpse of your own reflection in a nearby window, and for a second you look like someone else entirely. They tell you to wait while they check something, and that word wait stretches longer than it should. You realize this is no longer just a casual stop, and something unseen has already started moving against you, pulling you into a situation you do not understand yet. The moment they tell you that you need to come with them just to clear things up, the tone shifts in a way that locks you into level 2, the one taken in for questioning. You are still Alex Carter, but now your name sounds like something being tested instead of trusted. The back seat of the patrol car feels smaller than it should, the doors closing with a finality that echoes longer than the sound itself. You tell yourself this is temporary, that people get checked all the time, that you will be out in less than an hour. But the silence inside the car keeps stretching those thoughts thin. The ride through downtown Los Angeles feels unfamiliar even though you have walked these streets 100 times. When you arrive at the station, the building looks plain, almost forgettable, which somehow makes it worse. They guide you inside without force, just firm direction, and every step feels like you are moving further away from control. A desk officer takes your information again, typing slowly, as if confirming something already decided. You are led into a small room with a table, 2 chairs, and a camera fixed high in the corner, always watching. The questions begin simple, your name, your address, your timeline, but they loop back again and again, each time with sharper edges. You notice how they pause after your answers, exchanging looks you cannot read, like they are fitting pieces together without telling you the picture. They mention a timestamp, 2:17 p.m., and a location just a few blocks from where you were earlier, and suddenly your memory feels unreliable. You try to stay calm, repeating what you know is true, but the more you speak, the less certain your own voice sounds. One officer slides a printed image across the table, grainy and unclear, but close enough to make your chest tighten. You look at it, then back at them, and for the first time you understand that this is no longer about clearing things up, and something much heavier is about to land on you next. It becomes official the moment the metal clicks around your wrists, cold and precise, and without raising their voices they move you forward into level 3, the primary suspect. You are still Alex Carter, but the name feels heavier now, like it carries something you cannot see. The back seat of the patrol car smells faintly of plastic and something worn down over time, and the door shuts with a finality that settles deep in your chest. No one explains much, just short instructions, controlled tones, everything stripped down to function. You try to speak, to correct whatever mistake is unfolding, but your words land flat, like they no longer hold weight here. At the station, the process becomes mechanical, your belongings cataloged, your pockets emptied, each step reducing you into a set of entries on a form. Someone mentions a timestamp, 3:42 p.m., placing you near a location you barely recognize, and suddenly your day is no longer yours to define. A grainy still image appears on a screen, a figure that could be you if someone wanted it to be, and that is enough to shift the balance. You feel the room tighten, not physically, but in the way every question now assumes something you have not done. Your voice sounds distant even to yourself as you repeat the same facts, hoping consistency will anchor you. The officers remain calm, almost indifferent, which makes it worse because there is no clear point to push against. You begin to understand that being right is not the same as being believed, and that realization settles in with a quiet, steady weight. Then one of them says you will be held for further processing, and just like that, the line between confusion and accusation disappears completely. Time loses its edges the moment the cell door closes behind you, a hollow echo marking your entry into Level 4, the detainee. You are still Alex Carter, but now your name is just a label attached to a locked space inside Los Angeles County Jail. The room is smaller than you expected. Concrete walls, a metal bench, a dim light that never fully turns off, and nothing that tells you what time it is. You sit because there is nowhere else to stand, and the silence feels heavier than any noise outside. Hours stretch without structure, and you start counting breaths, footsteps in the hallway. Anything that proves time is still moving. A distant voice calls out another name, then another. None of them yours. Each one a reminder that you are not leaving anytime soon. You replay October 2023 inches your head again and again, searching for the exact second everything went wrong, but the answer never comes. Somewhere nearby, someone speaks in fragments. A story you cannot fully hear, but enough to make you realize everyone here believes they should not be here. The light flickers once, just enough to make your eyes adjust, and in that brief shift, you notice a camera fixed high in the corner, always watching, never blinking. You wonder how many hours it has recorded you sitting still, doing nothing, existing as a suspect instead of a person. A guard passes by without looking in, footsteps steady, routine untouched by whatever is happening inside your head. You try to hold on to simple facts, your name, your timeline, the truth as you know it, but even those begin to feel distant in this space. Then you hear two officers speaking just outside, mentioning a detail that does not fit, something about another individual, another place. And for the first time, you sense a crack in the story built around you. The transfer happens without warning, a quiet decision made somewhere above you, and by the time you realize it, you are already stepping into Level 5, the high-security inmate. You are still Alex Carter, but now your name moves through a different system inside Los Angeles County Jail, one that feels colder, more controlled, less forgiving. The hallway is narrower, the doors thicker, the air sharper, and every movement is directed with short, precise commands that leave no room for questions. You are placed in a single cell, isolated, monitored at all times. The camera now closer, more deliberate, like it is studying you rather than just recording. The light here does not flicker. It hums steadily, removing any sense of night or day, making time feel like a flat line. You try to understand why you are here, what changed, what elevated you from confusion to containment, but no one explains anything. A guard mentions classification, risk level, procedural adjustment, words that sound official but mean nothing to you. You sit on the edge of the metal bed and realize the system does not need certainty to act. It only needs enough doubt to keep you inside it. Somewhere down the corridor, a door opens and closes, heavy and final, repeating a rhythm that begins to settle into your mind. Then it happens, a quiet conversation just outside your cell, two voices, one correcting the other, referencing a different Alex Carter, a different case file, a mismatch buried in paperwork. The words are brief, almost careless, but they cut through everything you have been holding on to. You stand, waiting for someone to come back, to open the door, to acknowledge the mistake, but no one does. Minutes pass, then longer, and the silence returns like nothing ever shifted. You realize the truth may already exist, but the system has not caught up to it yet, and until it does, you remain exactly where you are. By the time the truth surfaces, it no longer feels like freedom waiting on the other side. It feels like a delay in a system that never noticed you slipping through it. You are still Alex Carter, still standing in the same space. But now you understand how thin the line really is. Nothing dramatic breaks you out, no sudden reversal, just slow recognition that may or may not arrive in time. The door stays closed, the camera stays on, and the process keeps moving forward. You are left with one thought that does not leave. What happens if the system never corrects itself?